What's up everyone, it's Perlin again, and today I want to talk about 8 countries that you can live in the world super cheap. So this is for if you want to travel overseas and you don't have a lot of money and you want to live overseas, and maybe you don't want to spend a lot of money, maybe you don't have a lot of money to spend, but you want to experience different countries. There's definitely cheap places, cheap countries that you can live where the cost of living is so cheap that you can do it on extremely low amount of money. So I found this article online today and it had the top 8 countries to live where it's super cheap, and it breaks down the expenses of your utilities and your rent for a room. So I've got the article here. So it says this is for your average monthly rent for a 1-bedroom and your utilities, which is electric, heating, water, and garbage. First on the list is Thailand. Average monthly rent for 1-bedroom, $300. Utilities, $70. $370 for a month. It's good times. Next up is Guatemala. I've traveled to Guatemala. Super cheap, super beautiful country. Lots of fun people, lots of fun things to do. Lots of like Mayan ruins and stuff. Very cool, very nice to go to. Average monthly rent, $320. Utilities, $120. So that's $440 for a month. Next up, Malaysia. Haven't been to Malaysia, but I super want to go there. Average monthly rent is $223 and utilities is $50. So $253. It's getting even cheaper. Imagine living in Malaysia for a whole month on $223. Exciting times. Next up, Panama in Central America. Average monthly rent, $450. Utilities, $75. Next up, Nepal. Nepal. Average monthly rent, $90. Utilities, $30. $120 for a full month's stay in Nepal. So imagine that, like you can go out in Australia and spend $120 on like a meal for 2 people. So you go out to a restaurant, you get a main course, maybe you get a dessert, maybe you get a drink or so each. $120 easy, that'll rack up to. So you can spend 1 meal for 2 people or an entire month's living in Nepal. It's very cool. You do not have to work that much or be able to save that much to be able to travel long term and live in these countries. It's super easy to do, it's super cheap, and it's just becoming more cheap and more easy as travel has just become more accessible to the average person. And the ability to travel and the ability to make money in a wealthy country like Australia or United States, and then use that money to spend in countries where the living expense is a lot less, and your dollar will go a lot further in those countries. And you can live an awesome like king lifestyle in these countries for so little money. But if you're living in like Australia, where I'm living at the moment, you can be spending all of this money. You make a lot, but you spend a lot on like all your bills and your rent and your car expenses, and just everything, food expense, everything just costs a lot to live in these first world countries. But if you can make the money and then just get a cheap flight over to these other countries, and then you can live there and spend money, and yeah, it goes a long way. So next on the list, Vietnam. Monthly rent for 1-bedroom, $300. Utility, $50. $350 for a month in Vietnam. Next up, Nicaragua. $150 for a room and $40 for utilities. $190. Very affordable. India, $150 for a room, $40 for utility. $190. So just to give you an idea, like I just got a basic day job here in Australia at the moment. I make about $20 an hour. I get about $100 a day working, so that's about $500 a week. So 1 week's work in Australia can last me 2.5 months in India. And yeah, So that's a very good exchange. 1 week's work for 2.5 months of living expenses. That's ridiculously awesome. So yeah, you want to live like a king, you want to spend double the amount that it costs to live there, work for 2 weeks in Australia and then go over there and you can live it up for 2.5 months, and yeah, it's good times. So this article and these ideas is just like another reminder to me just how easy it is to travel, and this can help you if you want to go over and you want to travel and you want to experience all of these different countries, you know, through Central America or Asia, or, you know, going up into, you know, the top of Asia, any place that is less developed, has cheaper cost of living, and you can live for a long time on relatively low amount of money. And you can either save up in a wealthy country and then spend it in these poorer countries, and do it that way, or you can get a job which is online and you can work from these other countries and you can just live there and you can create money that can easily sustain you in those countries and live in these spectacular, you know, places instead of being like cramped in some busy city that you don't really want to be in, paying really high rents, really high cost of living, and, you know, all of your money just goes towards that and you can save very little. But if you make it so you live in these, you know, exotic locations that have these awesome fun times and travel the world and be working at the same time, you know, you can have the best of both worlds. So there you have it, 8 countries that you can go to straight away with very little money and stay for a long time and truly experience what it is like to live in another country. So that's it for now. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.